graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on, barreled, and out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
1, 2, 3. There we go. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We go on for all the Phillies, all the Sixers, and all the Eagles games as well. What's going on, chat? Dimmy's here. Larry's here. Peso. Frank is here. John Williams. Shane's here. We also have Clara on Twitch. Mark is here. PJ's here. Seema Fox is here. We have a very good crowd for tonight's game. Phillies are looking to get a win against the Chicago White Sox. They start off a 3-game set out in Chicago and are hoping to take all 3 games. They'll send Cristopher Sanchez out there on the bump tonight. And without further ado, let's get on into the starting lineups for tonight's game. All right, so for the Philadelphia Phillies, batting in the leadoff spot, it'll be Trey Turner. Then it's Kyle Schwarber back at DH. Bryce Harper is playing over at first, and then you got Nick Castellanos batting in the cleanup spot. JT Realmuto is hitting 5th. Brandon Marsh 6th. Otto Kemp 7th. 8th will be Max Kepler, and then it's Bryson Stott who will be batting in the 9 spot. So just to recap once again, 1 second. It'll be Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, JT Realmuto, Brandon Marsh, Otto Kemp, Max Kepler, and Bryson Stott, all in there for the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. All right. Davis Martin is going to take the hill. He has a 2-8 record this year. You'll see some four-seamers, cutters, changeups, and sinkers, sliders, and curveballs as well. Those are what he does tend to throw. Mainly the four-seamer, the cutter, and the changeup are his bread and butter when it comes to pitching. Let's put this down here. Let's put this here. And voila, we shall be good to go. Very, very good. So it's Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos, Realmuto, Marsh, Kemp, Kepler, and Stott. For the Chicago White Sox on the defensive side, they have Elvis Cuero catching behind the plate. Miguel Vargas is over at first base. And then at second, it's Lennon Sosa, who is over there. At third base, you got Colson Montgomery, the 23-year-old from Holland, Indiana. And at short, of course, it'll be Chase Mydroth. And then out in left field, it's Michael Taylor. In center field, it's Luis Robert. Austin Slater's out in right field. And Andrew Benintendi is the DH. Here's Turner, first pitch, and that's inside for ball 1. We are underway out in Chicago. So Turner, ahead in the count 1-0. Let us know who your player for the game is and what your final score predictions are as well. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's in there for a called strike. Turner hitting .293, had a very good series against the Yankees overall. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the 1-1, that was way inside, but Turner swung on and missed at it. And the count is 1-2. He looked absolutely foolish on that swing. 1-2 is the count to Turner. 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. And there's the 1-2 delivery. It's downstairs. It's 88 degrees out in Chicago, Illinois. Phil Cuzzy is the home plate umpire. Dan Bellino's at first. Clint Vondrack's at second. And John Bacon is at third. Here's the 2-2 from Martin, and it's a strike 3 called to Trey Turner. So he goes down looking. 5 pitches in that at-bat. All right, what's everybody's final score predictions? Let us know. You guys can hear me fine, right? Audio's coming on in clear. Schwarber is up. And the pitch, fouled away. Dapper haircut. I didn't even get a haircut, my friend. No balls, 1 strike. But thank you, though. 0-1, and that's inside and low for ball 1. 7-6 Phillies, says Hardcore. Shante is here. What's up, Shante? Pacers is 6-2. Castellanos MVP and Phillies win 5-3. See, I asked 2 questions. There we go. You answered both. Love it. 7-5 Phillies, says PJ. And who's your player of the game? 4-3 Phillies, says Chris. Told you guys, ears lowered. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kyle Schwarber. And Martin kicks, fires, and throws it low for ball 2. Schwarber in his last 5 games, 8 for his last 23. Lots of Phillies fans here. Out at right field. That's what it's called. 2-2 pitch, and Schwarber goes guessing after a changeup that was inside and low. And back-to-back strikeouts for Martin. So the next man up is Bryce Harper. Davis Martin this year, a 3.89 ERA, along with a 2-8 record. Gave up 3 earned runs in his last outing. That was against the Tampa Bay Rays. The pitch. It's 1 ball with no strikes. Harper has his Fanatic elbow guard on. His right elbow. The pitch. Swing and a miss. One ball, 1 strike. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 1-1, swing and a miss again on another 4-seam fastball. That was at 96. Davis had 76 pitches in his last game. Allowed 3 earned runs against the Rays. No homers, but 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. And the pitch, fouled off. The last time that he actually won a ball game was on May 14th. It was against the Cincinnati Reds. He's actually had some good outings, just not a lot of run support. 1-2 pitch, here it comes. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3 go the Phillies as they strike out in order. 1-2-3. And we go to the bottom of the first. The White Sox are coming up, and we'll take a quick step off. Be right back. right, so we go to the bottom of the first. Cristopher Sanchez out there on the mound for Philadelphia. 134 strikeouts and 124 innings of work. He looked absolutely dominant and has been 1,000% dominant on the hill in the month of July. Just a 1.19 ERA. The last time that he actually gave up 2 earned runs was on June 14th. He's gone in his last 6 outings, has only given up 1 earned run in each of those outings. The pitch is in there for a strike to Chase Meidroth. The ball is 1 strike, and the 0-1 is fouled away. So Meidroth is leading it off. And then it's Slater, Austin Slater that is, Elvis Cuero, Miguel Vargas, Andrew Benintendi, Luis Robert Jr., and then it's Lennon Sosa, Colson Montgomery, and Michael Taylor. No balls, 2 strikes, and the 0-2 is chopped foul. 30 1/3 of an inning in this month. And just 4 earned runs, 22 hits allowed, 4 walks, and just 1 homer. No balls, 2 strikes. And here's the 0-2. It's grounded over to shortstop. It's played on 2 bounces by Turner, who throws sidearm over to first. And Meidroth is out. The Phillies defense, it'll be this. JT's catching. Over at first base, it'll be Bryce Harper. At second, you got Bryson Stott. The third baseman is Otto Kemp. And at shortstop, it's Trey Turner. In the outfield, from right to left, it's Castellanos, Marsh, and also Kepler. Slater is up, and he takes inside for ball 1. Slater is now 32 years old. It all started with the Giants. He was with the Giants for 8 seasons. 1-0 pitch on the way. There's a fly ball. This one's hit out over towards deep center field. Marsh goes back over towards the track and has just enough room to make the catch for out number 2. Caught it right by that fence next to the Xfinity sign. And so there is out number 2 just in front of the panel. Have those green panels on that fence. It's a very hard fence. Cuero is up. He's had a pretty good season for the White Sox, hitting .277. And the first pitch that he sees is taken for strike 1. The ball is 1 strike. And the 0-1 is popped up. It's hit out over towards the first base side in foul territory. Harper's there. Makes the grab. Inning over. 1-2-3 go the Chicago White Sox. Out at right field. We're going to the top of the second. No score in Chicago. Okay. Fouled out to first. Let me know if you agree with this. The Phillies should sweep the White Sox. Let me know if you agree with that statement. The Phillies should sweep the White Sox. Give me a yes or a no. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Elaine is here. How are you? Davis has agreed. Lou says agree. Jacqueline says totally, 100%. Randy says yes. Elaine says yes. It's okay if you say no. Shane says yes. The Phillies should sweep the White Sox. Do you agree with that statement, or do you disagree? Money line for Philadelphia is at -240. So Vegas says that the Phillies are going to win. Larry says agree. And Aeon says yes. You need Schwarber. Scott says no. Top of the second. No score. They don't have to blow them out every game. Just win. I agree. Who are the Mets playing? Mets play the Padres. That's right. Mets are 1.5 games above the Phillies in the NL East standings. Paul says disagree. We win 2 of 3. Okay. The pitch. This one's grounded over towards second base, and the throw to first is in time to get out number 1. For those of you that are saying no, is it because you guys think that it's hard to win 3 in a row against any team? I'm just curious. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just want to understand where you're coming from. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. They should sweep, but that doesn't mean that they will. It's a roller coaster ride with this team. Correct. I'm content to win any given series, but not getting a sweep here would be disappointing, says Larry. The ball is 1 strike. That's to JT Realmuto. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. I mean, some of these pitches that are being thrown are just not in the zone. They're just hacking at pitches. 0-2. Fouled off. 2 out of 3 is not a disaster, says Lou, but they should win 3. Yeah, I think that the expectation is 3, but I'm satisfied if they at least win 2. I'm still okay with that. It all depends, though. The pitch on the way to JT, swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts. That's for Martin. So in case you're just tuning on in, this is Davis Martin, 28 years old, 6 feet 2 inches tall, 215 pounds. He's been with the White Sox. This is now his 3rd season. And Marsh comes up and he fouls off the first pitch. We should sweep, though, but either Luzardo or Walker will give us a hiccup. What's up, Jay? The ball is 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's taken for a ball. A sweep on the road is hard for this team. They will never do it. Well, they did do it against the Rockies. The Rockies were the worst team still in baseball. But this team is, statistically speaking, the 2nd worst right now. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. There's a ground ball hit over towards second base, and the throw to first is in time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Davis Martin. And we go to the bottom of the 2nd, out at right field. All right. I think the Phillies will win 5-4 today. I think it's going to be, and I didn't give my final score prediction. Screw me. 5-1 is my final score prediction. I think Sanchez will continue his 1 earned run streak, and he should go 8 to 9 innings again today. Phillies, of course. I'm happy with 2 out of every 3. 108 wins if you win 2 out of 3. Yeah, for sure. Do you think that they re-signed Kyle Schwarber? I'm a little worried about that. I don't think it happens. And the reason why is because I feel like that it would have been done. It would have been done already. But maybe I'm wrong. And this is just, you asked for my opinion. I don't know what's going on in the front office. I don't know if they've had these conversations or how things have gone about. But to me, I think it would have been done earlier. And the fact that it's taken this long tells me that it's going to be really hard for them to keep him and that he's probably going to explore the market. Ranger, I don't know what's going on either. You can also say, well, they haven't done it with JT yet. I think JT is at a different point. But what do I know? Sanchez is going to go back out there for the second frame. Rising Rhino, if you love football, make sure that you go subscribe to my man Rising Rhino. Bottom of the second, Sanchez kicks, deals, and it's a foul ball to Miguel Vargas. I hope that they do, but I think it's going to cost. It's going to take at least 5 years and $30 million per year, says Paul. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. 0-1, here it comes. It's on the inside edge for strike 2. Nine straight quality starts entering on into today for Cristopher Sanchez. It's a lot. No balls, 2 strikes. And here's the 0-2. It's low for a ball. It's not our money. I don't know. I feel like I feel like it would have been done. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there's a swing and a miss. And Sanchez records his first strikeout of the evening. There we go. Very, very good. Give Rising Rhino a follow. Yes, please do that. Good job, Mods. Pitch to Benintendi. He chops it over towards Bryson Stott's way, towards the right side. And he picks it up. Throws it over to first. Out number 2 is recorded. 2 quick outs. Just a total of 13 pitches for Cristopher Sanchez. Okay, so then here's my question. If the Phillies prioritized one of the two, Ranger or Schwarber, what do you think, or who do you think out of those two is going to be priority number 1? I'm not asking you who do you think should be. I'm asking you who do you think the front office will prioritize as priority number 1. First pitch to Robert. That's taken for a ball. Sanchez kicks, deals, and it's outside for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes to Luis Robert Jr. The next pitch looked outside, but it's taken for a called strike. Paul says Schwarber. Keith also says Schwarber. Who do you think that the front office will prioritize in extending? 2 balls, 1 strike. End the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. You think JT is a bigger priority over Sanchez? Now that is interesting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez kicks, delivers, and throws it low for ball 3. Larry says that he thinks Kyle is priority number 1. Team leader plus rotation is in pretty good shape even without Ranger. The 3-2 pitch on the way. There's a line drive it out to center field. Marsh on the run will make the catch. And it goes into the glove. He had to turn it faced up. And he caught it for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning. Then we go to the top of the third. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Alrighty, here we go. First pitch, foul ball, and that's to Otto Kemp. 7, 8, and 9 do up in the Phillies batting order. No balls, 1 strike. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. Kemp hitting .250. Does have 4 homers on the season. He had a multi-homer game yesterday. 0-2. Up high for a ball. For those of you that did tune on into Sunday Night Baseball, thank you so much. That was our biggest crowd that we've ever had this year for just covering another baseball game. That was actually our biggest one ever. That was even higher than the World Series last year. It was really cool. 1-2 pitch. That's low and outside for ball 2. We had a good amount of people. A good amount of Mets fans, some Giants fans, and some Phillies fans on there too. But it was pretty much like 50%, over 50% Mets, and like 35% Giants, and 12% Phillies. The pitch. This one is flied out over towards right field. Slater gets under it. And he'll make the grab. And there's one away. Kemp does fly out. And now Max Kepler is the next man up. And he'll be facing Davis Martin. Martin attacks the zone, throws a curveball, and that's in there for strike 1. The ball is 1 strike. The 0-1 is a changeup that's in the dirt for a ball. They don't. 1-1, foul ball. And, you know, doing Diamond Zone has helped. I have done some Giants games, and I definitely see that there have been some Giants fans that have been following us, which is awesome. 1-2 pitch. That's way outside for ball 2. I know. I wish I could do more, but I can't. Maybe I should just clone myself. 2-2. Line drive, base it out to center field, and Max Kepler finally breaks the ice for Philadelphia. Took them 7 batters, but he breaks the curse. And Bryson Stott is going to come on up. Just a single for Max Kepler. One away, and Stott, who rests the bat on his shoulder, picks it up, and as the pitch comes, he takes it at 93 on the outside corner. Oh, I forgot to get the emote of Sanchez. Sorry, folks. The ball is 1 strike to Bryson Stott in the pitch, and that one's going to be blooped out to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Goes by Lennon Sosa, who had to turn over his shoulder. The right fielder plays it on 2 bounces. The throw over to second is cut off, and Kepler stops at second base. Stott gets on with a single, and the Phillies have something cooking in the kitchen. Back-to-back singles off of Davis Martin. George! And now Trey Turner is the next man up. Kepler at second, Stott at first. The first pitch, swing and a miss. And by the way, the pitch that Stott had was way inside, and somehow he fought it off and was able to get a single out of it. It was not really a good pitch to hit. The ball is 1 strike to Trey Turner. And the 0-1 is a high bouncer, and that's hit over towards the left side, but it is a foul ball. Turner did not run it first, and then the ball bounced, and it almost went fair, but Martin could not get over there. Martin and the catcher, Cuero, just waiting for that thing to drop, but also ran toward the ball, and they could not get there in time. So Trey did dodge a bullet. 0-2 to Turner. Turner struck out looking in his first at-bat. And the 0-2 pitch he takes down for ball 1. .38 total pitches for Davis Martin. Here's the 1-2 pitch, foul ball. Scratch that. Now he has 40. One ball, 2 strikes to Trey Turner. Phillies playing out at right field in Chicago. And the 1-2 pitch, here it comes, swing and a miss. And the 5th strikeout comes against Trey Turner, who's gone down swinging. And that's the 2nd strikeout that he's had today. Tell you, that changeup actually looked really good out of the hands of Martin. Looked like it was actually going to be on the outside corner, but it ended up going just a little bit outside. Looked very deceptive. 2 away, 2 base runners on, and Schwarber comes up, and the first pitch thrown to him is a changeup that's low. That was a good pitch, though, Hardcore. I agree, but that was pretty nasty. 1-0 pitch. Inside and low for ball 2. Schwarber 0 for 1. He struck out in the first. 2-0 pitch. just inside for ball 3, but they do appeal, and they say he did not go. Kyle's average this year is at .254. He's tied for 4th in baseball in homers, and he's in 4th in RBI. 3-0 pitch, he rips it foul towards that first base side and well out of play. We need you, Schwarby. 3-1 pitch. Outside and high for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Bryce Harper. Schwarber's at first. And Stott's at second. And Kepler's at third. Harper trying to come through with the bases juiced. He'll step on into the box, and the first pitch that comes is a cutter on the upper third of the zone, and it's in there for a called strike. A .314 average for Bryce with the bases loaded in his career. 0-1 to Harper. Here comes the 0-1, and that's up high. One ball, one strike. Martin comes set at the belt and delivers. And it's inside and low for ball 2. Phillies trying to jump out in front. Bases loaded. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 away. Top of the third. We're scoreless. The 2-1 to Harper. And it's fouled off. That was a fastball right down the turnpike. And Harper was late. Two and 2 is the count. And the big pitch, here it comes. Ground ball, base it into center field. Kepler's going to score. Stott's rounding third. He'll come in to score 2. The throw to second is not in time. Safe is the call. And Harper gets on with a 2-run double. Well, he did it. He got it back up the middle. Infield was shifted, not up the middle. Wild. Love the aggressiveness too on the bases. Drop a Bryce Harper emote. So a timeout taken on the mound. Phillies up 2-0. Katz goes out there to have a conversation with Martin just to try to calm him down. Looked like Harper got a fastball and just didn't really want to do too much with it. But he made solid contact, hit it back up the middle, and no one was going to be able to get over to it. So that puts Schwarber at third, Harper at second. Casty's up. And he takes a cutter on the outside edge for strike 1. All right, I just put the Sanchez emojis in the chat. Drop the Harper emotes. There we go. PJ just did it. No balls, 1 strike to Nick. And there's a foul ball off of Cuero. Ouch. And a little piece of him there. See that the Orioles are already up 6-4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. They're in the bottom of the 5th, though. Casty is out of the box for a second. Cuero is taking the time that he needs, and now Casty steps back on in. 0-2 is the count. 2 runners in scoring position. 2 away. And Martin comes set and fires. It misses outside and low. One ball, 2 strikes to Nick Castellanos. The 1-2 pitch, and that's fouled off over towards the right side. He says, get out of play, and it actually hits the foul ball netting. No one would have been able to get over to it. Davis Martin had 15 pitches in the first, 9 in the second, and already 31 pitches in the third inning. 1-2 to Castellanos. Martin kicks, fires the pitch, swing and a miss, and he struck him out. The inning is over. The damage is done, though, and Bryce Harper puts the Phillies up 2-0 on a 2-run double with the bases loaded with 2 outs. And Lennon Sosa will lead off the bottom of the third for the Chicago White Sox, and they'll be back. 2-run double. And Cassidy struck out. If we can just get Eugenio to protect Harper and Schwarber, we're going to be a legit terror, says Colonel Bernie. And see, I like Suarez's bat, but I just feel like what's going to happen to Bohm? And is third base a bigger priority than the outfield? And to me, the answer to that is no. So if you get Suarez, yes, your offense is better, but A, who are you giving up in the trade? And B, what's your defense? What's your defensive lineup going to be? When does Harper not try to do too much with a fastball? Once per decade? The point is that he hasn't really done that a lot this year. I'm not sold on the Eugenio Suarez, says Paul. Larry says me neither. I like his bat. I just, A, he's very streaky. But B, more importantly, if it were the Phillies, I'd rather have them address their outfield over third base. He's what, 36 and a free agent after the season? Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't give up too much for him. Well, something's going to have to give. Now, I'm wondering, and it's probably a no, maybe it's just barroom talk or barbershop talk. Would the Diamondbacks consider giving up Corbin Carroll? The pitch, and that's taken for a ball. It sounds like it's completely out of left field. 1-0 pitch, here it comes. And that's in there for a strike to Lennon Sosa. 264 average for him in 89 games, 9 home runs, 37 RBI. And the 1-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit out to right field. It takes a bounce in front of Nick Castellanos. And he'll throw it in over to second. And a leadoff opposite field single for Sosa. Walker for Ohtani. An outfielder who can hit and field. And he can also run. But do you think that the Diamondbacks would consider trading Corbin Carroll? It would be totally random. Would you be shocked if Corbin Carroll gets traded, is my question. I need to do a better job at phrasing these questions. 1 ball, no strikes. And that's to Colson Montgomery. Sanchez with the 1-0. It's line foul. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We have 285 people on here watching. Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. Love it. Larry says, kinda. Here's the 1-1, and there's a fly ball. This one is hit out over the deep right field, and that ball is gone. We're tied up 2-2. And so that's just the second homer allowed this month by Cristopher Sanchez. It's to Colson Montgomery. If you remember, he got away with the one to Austin Slater. That was back in the first. And Montgomery takes him deep out to right. Right. Yeah, I figured that. I figured that that's what you meant. Let's see what this pitch was. It was looked like it was a hanging changeup that just did not get down. JT wanted it a little bit lower, and it flattened out, and Montgomery took advantage of it. So it's a brand new game here in the bottom of the third. The pitch is taken for a ball. Montgomery, that was his fourth homer of the season. 1-0 pitch. That is taken for ball 2. Vigilant Tracker, how are you? I really appreciate you for stopping on by. Michael Taylor is up. The count is 2-0 to him. And he chops this one over to shortstop. Turner on the run, fields it on the ground, and throws it over to first sidearm in time for out number 1. Colson Montgomery from Holland, Indiana, 23 years old. He's been with the White Sox. This is his rookie year, 16 for 62 before this game. Mydroth is up as we flip the lineup card, and he takes strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Cristopher Mydroth. And the 0-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. Chase Mydroth grounded out in the first. A .326 slugging percentage for him this year. 0-2 pitch. And it's called a ball. The lead is gone in a couple of minutes. It happens. Cristopher Sanchez can lay an egg every once in a while. 1-2. Chopped foul over towards the third base side. He's going to make mistakes. I mean, 8 straight outings with just 1 earned run in at least 7 innings. In all those outings, that's very impressive. Here's the 1-2. That is off target inside. Sorry, he actually went 6 innings against the Houston Astros. But still, at least 6 innings. It's pretty awesome. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, hit over to short. And Turner has it again. Throws it on over to first, and there is out number 2. A lot of ground balls hit over to Trey Turner, it seems. Nice job, Vigilant Tracker. Let's go. I took the over 2.5 on that Vigilant Tracker. Just kidding. The ball is 1 strike to Austin Slater. Here's the 0-1. It's a foul ball on a changeup. That is pretty wild, though. Sanchez will get the signs from Realmuto. The ball is 2 strikes. 2 away, bottom of the third. The 0-2 pitch, ground ball hit over to second base. Stott fields it, throws it over to first. And we're going to the top of the 4th. We're tied up 2-2. Colson Montgomery hit a 2-run homer out to right off of Cristopher Sanchez. And so we're going to the top of the 4th inning. Be right back. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell icons. And that way you will know when we do go live. If you are a baseball fan, if you are into fantasy baseball, and if you just love watching baseball, period, I have a stream for you that I do once a week, and we're actually going to do our next episode on Wednesday. It'll be after the Phillies game is done. It'll be on Wednesday night. And that is Diamond Zone, where we go live and we watch some baseball games and we do a red zone type of a cast. And it's so awesome. So if you are interested, make sure that you come on and follow along. That is MLB Diamond Zone. I'm posting the link down below of our latest episode, and you can go tune in to that. There's the link right there. All right, we're in the top of the 4th. The next man up is JT Realmuto. Phillies took the lead in the top of the 3rd. Harper had a 2-run double to put them up 2-0. And then in the bottom of the 3rd, Colson Montgomery hit a 2-run bomb for Chicago. That was off of Cristopher Sanchez. It's 1 ball, no strikes. That's to JT Realmuto. Martin comes set, winds up, and fires. And throws it on the outside edge. It's taken for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1, and there's a line drive hit out to right center field. And on the run is the center fielder, Robert Jr., and he'll make the diving catch out in right center. Covered a lot of ground there and laid it all out. And robbed JT on a base hit. Got him playing out in center field for a little bit. That was a pretty good catch. The pitch. That's to Brandon Marsh. That's inside for a ball. Martin comes set again and fires. And this time it's hit out to right center field. No chance that Robert is going to catch that one as it drops in for a base hit. And Brandon Marsh gets on with a 1-out single. It took a bounce in front of Robert, and he threw it to the cutoff man. Good swing from Brandon Marsh. Marsh 1 for 2. And Otto Kemp is the next man up. First pitch that he takes is down and away for a ball. How's everybody's night going so far? We have 270 people watching. That's great. One a pitch. Fouled off the foot of Otto Kemp. And Marsh was going on over to second base. Got his exercise, but he has to go back to first. 1-1 is the count. The pitch. Foul ball. Colton says, let's go. Luis Roberts' numbers this year are utterly putrid. But that also, as the throw over to first is in time. I wanted to think of the right words. The throw over to first was not in time, first of all. It's a 1-2 count. I'm multitasking. 1-2 pitch outside for ball 2. Throw back to first, and that's not in time. It was a pitch out. And Marsh got back in there. But you also wonder, too, when it comes to Luis Robert, is if he would do better on a contender. Two balls, 2 strikes. In the 2-2 pitch, there's a swing and a miss. And there's out number 2. And Martin gets his 7th strikeout of the game. I mean, we don't know. Maybe the White Sox coaching staff really has not helped him. I don't know. Maybe it's an ego thing. The pitch is taken for a ball. That seems like a remarkably casual pick-off call. Yeah. I multitasked. Toss back to first. Not in time. Apologies. The 1-0 pitch. There's a foul ball. After this inning is done, we're going to go say hi to BW. I will drop his link in the chat. He does not have subscribers mode only on. So we should be fine, and we'll go say hi to him. 1 ball, 1 strike, and here's the 1-1 to Kepler. And there's a fly ball hit out over towards right field. Slater on the run, though, towards the track, and they'll make the grab. Inning over. All right, bottom of the 4th coming up. We'll take a very quick step off. Let's go say hi to Orioles Birdwatcher. Here is the link. I hope to see you all there. Go tell him play-by-play with JJ Raid and give him all the love that he deserves. Alrighty, thank you very much for that. First pitch, there's a ground ball hit over to shortstop. Turner off balance as he makes the play, throws it over to first. It's in time. He had a run over towards his left side, and his feet were planted kind of awkwardly. He sort of shuffled his feet a little bit as he threw it over to first, and got the out regardless. One away. We're in the bottom of the fourth, out in Chicago at Ray Field. Vargas comes up, and he takes the first pitch inside. So that was Cuero who grounded out over to short. Miguel Vargas is ahead in the count, 1-0. Gabe, what's up, Gabe? 1 ball, no strikes. And here's a changeup that is thrown in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. The windup and the pitch. Inside for ball 2. Any word on Sosa's injury? He played yesterday. And was in the starting lineup. So Rob was right. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the 2-1, it's grounded foul over towards third. Isn't that crazy? That really scared me. Gabriel, my friend, it's so good to see you. It's been a little bit of time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez on the bump. Kicks, deals, and it's flied out to left. It's hooking foul, and it'll go out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. There's a line drive base hit over to left field. It takes about 3 bounces in front of Max Kepler. And jogging over to first, getting on with the single, is Vargas with 1 out. I say Sanchez, that's the 4th hit that he has allowed today. I mean, no chance that Kepler was going to be able to catch, or that Kemp was going to be able to catch that over his head. One out, bottom of the 4th. And the pitch to Andrew Benintendi is high for ball 1. Snowman, what's going on, my friend? Good evening. Good evening to you. 1 ball, no strikes. Sanchez kicks, delivers. There's a check swing ground ball hit over to the mound. The throw, the second, there's 1. That's all that they're going to get. Just 1-6 on the fielder's choice. Tell you, Benintendi did hustle out of the box. Vargas did slide on into second and ducked, but Turner didn't even make a throw. Luis Robert Jr.'s up, and he takes a changeup off the plate. Seems like that the changeup is just not getting the amount of velocity that Sanchez usually gets, just from what I've been seeing today. Throws a slider, and Robert goes around. They said that he offered sort of a half swing there. The pitch was in the dirt, and the count is 1-1. But chat, what say you? If you're watching the game, what do you think about the changeup today? There's a sinker that's thrown, and that's outside for ball 2. Frank, what's up, Frank? 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over towards deep right field, and that's going back towards the track, and it is gone. Luis Robert Jr. just hit a 2-run homer, and he gives the White Sox a 4-2 lead. In the back of my head, I was thinking that out of all the people, Robert was going to hit a home run. Is this an audition for Luis Robert Jr.? That was his 11th home run of the season. Card Craze, how are you? Popped in to hit the like button, JJ. Thank you very, very much. The pitch. There's a line drive base hit out to center field. And Marsh plays it on 2 bounces. And another base hit allowed by Cristopher Sanchez. That was Lennon Sosa. He's now 2 for 2. Frank Baker is here. I'm behind. 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th. And the pitch. There's another fly ball hit out to deep right field. Castellanos is there and will make the catch. Montgomery just missed, and I mean just missed, his 2nd homer of the game. So not a good outing so far from Cristopher Sanchez, but it is a 2-run game, and we go to the top of the 5th, 4-2 Chicago. That was close. Chris. Chris was tuning on in last night. Chris is a Mets fan. He's a good dude, though. I appreciate you for stopping by, my friend. I'm happy to see you on here. Mets do play the Padres tonight. We are not covering that game. But the Phillies currently are down 4-2. It's good to see you, man. Let's just rebuild the team. Let's go, Chicago. He's probably saying it like that. The other Chicago team leads it 3-1, but they're in the bottom of the 3rd. That's a big series for them. They're playing the Milwaukee Brewers, who have been red hot. And the bases are loaded for Milwaukee with 1 out. See, if this was Diamond Zone, I would go right to that game. The Brewers actually just tied it up, and now it's a 3-3 ball game. Just a live score update. Was that Collins that got a hit off of Matthew Boyd? Yeah, a 2-run single. It was 3-0 Cubs. Yelich had an RBI double, and then Collins tied it up on a 2-run single. He's just having fun. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's all good. On a team with a poor record. All right. The pitch. That's taken for a ball. So, in case you are just tuning on in, the Phillies had a 2-0 lead. And then, Colson Montgomery hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd. And Luis Robert Jr. hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 4th off of Cristopher Sanchez. Got to make sure you stay in second. Just keep it clean, that's all. You can be playful. But it's all for fun. 2 balls, no strikes. And the 2-0 pitch, and that is outside for ball 3. That's to Bryson Stott. Martin, 7 strikeouts. That actually ties a season high. 3-0 pitch to Bryson Stott, and that's outside for ball 4. And so the tying run is coming up to the plate for the Phillies. That's the 2nd time today that Stott has gotten on. And Trey Turner is coming up to the plate for Philadelphia. Let's go. Tie up the baby. Charge! Pitch to Turner. He grounds this one over to 3rd. The throw to 2nd. There's 1. The throw to 1st. That's in time. Around the horn we go on the double play. Perfect timing for that, am I right? So 2 away. Turner got on top of that pitch and just grounded it over to third. And so there's 2 gone. The Brewers did just take the lead, and they now lead at 4-3. Schwarber's up, and he looks at a curveball that misses off the plate. Kyle 0 for 1 with a walk. And the pitch, he got fooled. The pitch was inside, but he swung at it anyways. And he will call for time. They got frozen drinks, the strawberry and lemonade drinks. They're pretty tall. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch is down and in for ball 2. Now you know what I'm waiting to see. I mean, Michael knows what I'm waiting to see. Hopefully the NBC Sports crew has the coverage if one comes out. The 2-1 pitch is a cutter on the outside corner for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Kyle Schwarber. The 2-2 on the way. Fouled off right behind home plate. And for those of you that don't know, I'm waiting to see those cake shakes. That's what they are. It looks so good. We talked about it a lot. Yeah, cake shakes, please. 2-2 pitch. That is inside and low for ball 3. Schwarber is 4th in baseball in walks. 3-2. Schwarber stepped out of the box, tried to call for time, and the pitch was high for ball 4. And Martin wants an explanation for that. A little bit confused. But I think that they called ball 4 or I don't know what that was, but regardless, Schwarber goes on over to first. They call it a walk. And now Bryce Harper is up, and he grounds this one out to right field for a base hit. Schwarber is rounding second. He'll head on over to third. Slater will throw it over to second base. And Schwarber actually stopped at second. Excuse me. Thought maybe he was going to go over to third. But regardless, 2 runners in scoring position. He did stop over at second. Wow. He actually had to get out of the way. He was jogging on over to second. And so Nick Castellanos is coming on up. Lesson learned there. 2 outs, 2 runners on. The pitch to Castellanos. It's a foul ball. That's not the first time that that's happened to me. Nick is 0 for 2. He takes the 0-1, low and outside for ball 1. Charge! 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, top of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. If I was Rob, I'd ditch the gum and would be sucking on a cake shake in the dugout. The 1-2 to Casty, off the plate for ball 2. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, folks. We appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. The 2-2 to Casty, and that's going to bounce in the dirt. Almost got by the catcher, and he looked up, and it was caught in his bare hand. Guerrero definitely dodged a bullet there. The count is 3-2 to Nick Castellanos. Runners remain at first and second. The payoff pitch to Castellanos, and he stays alive. Boy, you just got a piece of it. And the pitch was outside, too. THR 33 step is here. What's going on? Harper and Schwarber obviously were running, and they go back to their respected bases. The 3-2 pitch. There's a ground ball hit over towards the left side of the mound. The pitcher dives, tumbles. The throw to first. It is just in time to get Nick Castellanos. And the inning is over. And so we go to the bottom of the fifth. It is 4-2 White Sox. Man, Martin lost his footing, and he just rolled over, threw it over to first, and Castellanos was out by a quarter of a step. And the bottom of the fifth coming up. 4-2 Chicago. Wow, that was close, but he just got him by a quarter of a step. A heck of a play by Davis Martin. Stop being busy, Larry. I just said that the pitch was outside, yeah. I know. Crazy. Hit that thumbs up button, folks. Subscribe to the channel. We go live for all the Phillies, all the Sixers, all the Eagles games. We also do Sunday Night Baseball. We sometimes cover the Giants games. And we also do this thing called Diamond Zone, which if you are a pure baseball fan, if you also are into fantasy baseball, you can tune on into that. We're going to be live for our next Diamond Zone cast on Wednesday. It's basically a Red Zone cast. If you watch NFL football and if you watch NFL Red Zone, think about that type of cast, but instead it's for baseball. That's pretty cool. If somebody wants to drop that, I would appreciate it. You're more than welcome to go check that out. I do hope to see you guys on there on Wednesday. It's for very big baseball fans, and again, also if you play fantasy, if you also are just a fan of a team and you want an extra way to watch or to tune on into the games, it's another good way to do that. We don't obviously do the full games. You can support the other content creators that are out there, but if you want to listen to more than just one game at the same time and you want action, that's the right cast for you. Diamond Zone is cool, JJ says THR 33 step. I'm telling you, it's a part of the future on here. It's pretty awesome. Not a lot of people do it. I don't think anybody else has done it. And it's fun. It works. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss, and that's to Michael Taylor. Sanchez goes back out there for his fifth frame. He has not really been effective today. 0-1 on the way, and there's a swing and a miss. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. I like the way that you put that. 0-2 to Michael Taylor. And here's the 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Cristopher Sanchez. Give him another strikeout in the chat. That's just his second of the evening. Thank you for the 6550 subs. Taylor tonight 0 for 2. The White Sox ended up sending 6 men up to the plate in their last inning. Mydroth will come on up again for the third time, and he swings and misses at a changeup for strike one. The ball is one strike. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Bat-to-bat changeups thrown by Cristopher Sanchez. Oh, 2 on the way. On the inside corner for a cold strike 3. Good sinker thrown by Sanchez. He framed that perfectly. Threw it on the inside corner, and JT did a good job at just keeping it in the zone. Made it look like a piece of art. Two outs, bottom of the fifth, and the pitch to Austin Slater. Line drive, base hit out to center field. It's fielded on the ground by Brandon Marsh. So a two-out single by Austin Slater. Give him now his first hit of the game. Is Jane still on here? Guess it was on the other day and came on right in between our segue of postgame to a postgame show. The pitch is in there for a strike. Jane has said that, Joe has said that he is moving. So he's in the process of that and hasn't really been able to chat. But he still tunes in. 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike. The throw to second base by JT, and that's going to get on by Bryson Stott. It was not in time. Marsh went over to get it. The runner did not go to third base. Austin Slater stays put at second. JT has just really been struggling behind the plate. Did another throw that bounced. And Stott couldn't catch it. 0-2 pitch. There's a ground ball rolled over to short. Turner has it, throws it over to first, and we're going to the top of the sixth. 4-2 is the score. The White Sox lead it by 2 runs, and JT is coming up next. How come JT just continues to do these skip-hop throws over to second? It seems like that it's just throwing everybody off. Does he not have the arm strength anymore? Is the miles on the tires? Like, what really is going on? What is going on? Literally just asked the same question. It's funny. JT is still an above average catcher. Yeah, but I hear you, but when I'm watching him throw over to second and try to get runners out, not saying that the skip hop throws aren't a bad thing, but he's doing it a lot more. It's not like he's just throwing it straight over towards the second baseman or the shortstop. But is it just that he's getting older? Is it just because the Phillies are playing him every day and they just don't have a reliable backup catcher? Like, what's going on? Is it a combination of both? Is he hurt? Don't know. And I'm wondering, like, what you guys see. Four of 5 doctors surveyed recommended avoiding the Phillies for your mental health. He's all tuckered out, JJ. What's happening, JJ? What's up, Joe? The Phillies are down 4-2. Harper had a 2-run double to give them a 2-0 lead off of Davis Martin, who was actually doing a very good job against the Phillies. The Phillies just could not hit off of him. And then they had bases loaded. Harper had a 2-run double. And then in the bottom of the third, Cristopher Sanchez gave up his first 2-run homer of the game. That was to Colson Montgomery. And then he gave up his second 2-run homer of the game in the bottom of the fourth. That was against Luis Robert Jr. Here's JT, and he takes a strike right at the knees. If they had a competent backup catcher, they should be playing him a decent amount, says Larry. Action going on in the White Sox bullpen. And the 0-1 pitch is grounded over towards second base. Sosa picks it up, throws it over to first, and JT is out. Vicky, what's up, Vicky? Vicky says, to me, looks like he has pain. Playing through pain, no backup. Yeah, Paul, that's what I thought too. I thought that they were going to play him less, but they're playing him every day. First pitch is in there for a strike. That's to Brandon Marsh. No balls, 1 strike. Martin with a changeup that he throws. It's in the dirt. Marsh did single back in the 4th inning. The leg kick and the next pitch. There's a ground ball hit back up the middle for a base hit. And Marsh will get his 2nd base hit of the ball game as he sends it out towards right center field. Sosa tried to dive for it, and he wasn't able to get over to it. It was out of reach. And a 1-out single for Marsh will bring up the tying run to the plate. And that will be Otto Kemp. Toss bat to first, and Marsh is safe. Dove in there head first. JT only has 6 homers this season. That's unacceptable. To be fair, though, he's actually finally hitting the ball better. Pitch to Otto Kemp. He grounds this one over to shortstop. The throw to second. There's one. The throw over to first. Not in time. And so with 2 away, we're going to have a pitching change, it seems like, as the White Sox manager, that's Will Venable, he's going to go out there, and he will make a move. Remember, Will Venable is a player. He was on the Padres. Very good defensive player. And actually stayed in the league for a little bit of time. 289 people watching. The Phillies will be right back in just a few moments. But stay on here. Bro, just work him. Y'all are giving up way too many easy outs. Since when does a team worry about the offense coming from their backup catcher? Well, I don't know if they worry about the offense from a backup catcher, but if the backup catcher was hitting well, then it would sort of relieve JT a little bit more. So maybe he doesn't have to hit well, but maybe he has to, he obviously has to field pretty well and has to get on the same page with the starting pitchers that are out there, and has to get opportunities. Has Marchand gotten a lot of opportunities? You can make the case and you can say no. But if JT is going out there a lot and the Phillies want him to get more rest, you would think that maybe they would throw Marchand out there a little bit more. But they haven't, and we speculate as to why. Is it because of his offense? Is it because he's just a young dude and Rob is afraid to play the young guys? I don't know. There are 2 outs. We're in the top of the 6th. Phillies will have the tying run come up. Jordan Leisure is pitching. 4.78 ERA. 45 strikeouts, 22 walks. And he throws a slider that's low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock, and the 1-0 pitch is taken for strike 1. What's up, Jacqueline? Happy to see you on here. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock, and the toss bat to first is not in time. Is Darren Dalton available? Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2. You know, legit question. When was the last time the Phillies actually had a reliable backup catcher? And the answer, I think, the first person that comes to my mind is Chris Coast. The 1-2 pitch. Up high and away for ball 2. That's the last person that's the first person that comes to my mind. When was the last time that the Phillies actually had a reliable backup catcher where you put him in and you're like, you know what? That's fine. Chooch can have the day off, or JT can have the day off, or whoever it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away in the top of the 6th. Was Kepler ever good? Back in 2017 he was. Chris Coast, good call, JJ. Yeah. It just came to my mind. We're talking about catchers, and it's a good conversation. Something to think about, especially because in the offseason, we don't even know if JT's going to come back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2, Max Kepler. The 2-2 on the way. There's a fly ball hit out over towards shallow left field. Not that deep at all. And the catch will be made for out number 3. And the inning is over. All right. Bottom of the 6th will be coming on up. Chris Coast, the 52-year-old rookie. How old is he now? I don't know. Maybe Eric Kratz? Was Eric Kratz like a good backup catcher? I don't know. Like, seriously, think about the last time the Phillies had a reliable backup catcher. Was it Rod Barajas? Was it Jorge Alfaro? I think Alfaro was a backup for a little bit for Chooch, right? I just don't know. Going to be Marshawn and Stubbs next year. God help us. Mike Lieberthal. Yeah, who was Lieberthal the backup for Dalton before he became the starting catcher? Backup catchers are competent at best. If they're good, they're starting somewhere. Yeah, and like what I mean by good is somebody that you could just pencil on in and you're like, I'm okay with this. Not saying like, all right, you have Brett Favre starting and Aaron Rodgers on your bench as your backup quarterback. Like, you know, not like that. Was Lieberthal ever a backup? I'm just asking. Lieberthal was Dalton's backup. Okay, I was right. There you go. Our course is Cameron Rupp. Alrighty. We're in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch is taken for a strike. Cristopher Sanchez is out there to pitch. He became a starter, though, pretty quickly. Yeah, I think so. What is with these blackouts? No balls, 1 strike. And the 0-1 on the way. That's taken for strike 2. Cable's just not working. There we go. No balls, 2 strikes. That's to Vargas. The pitch is outside for ball 1. And that'll make the count now 1-2. It's back. It's just the cable box. 1-2 pitch to Vargas. This one's popped up. Hit out over towards second base. Stott is on the outfield grass. And he's there to make the grab for out number 1. The pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over towards left field. Kepler tracks it down as he goes back over towards the track. And the catch is made for the second out of the inning. Coast is 52 years old. Was with the Phillies from 06 to 09. Also played with the Astros in 09 as well. I don't know, 272 average, 23 homers, 108 RBI. Not bad for a backup catcher. The pitch is in there for strike 1, and that's to Luis Robert Jr. Robert Jr. homered his last time up. The ball is 1 strike. The 0-1 is taken low for a ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's down for ball 2. Oh, yeah, he was in the league from 06 to 09. He was a backup for his career, yeah. The pitch. Another foul ball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4-2 White Sox. Cristopher Sanchez, 5 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And the 2-2 pitch on the inside corner for a called strike 3. And the inning is over. 72 pitches for Cristopher Sanchez. We go to the top of the 7th. Phillies trail by 2. Okay. Okay, guys, let's go. Philadelphia Phillies. It's time to break that tide. Let's go, Kyle. Let's hit a big homer. Come on, guys. Come on, wake them up, man. Time to get the clocks out. It's clock time. Gotta clock in and clock out. Let's go. Y'all know what time it is. Let's go, Phillies. Let's score. Tell them to wake up. Wakey, wakey. That bell should wake him up. Yeah. Look at Shane posting those clocks in the chat. They do seem asleep for sure. Maybe they didn't have a good flight over to Chicago and they're tired. But you got to wake up the bats. You do. You got to wake them up. All right, we're going to the top of the 7th. The Phillies are down 4-2 to the Chicago White Sox. All right, we are going to the top of the 7th inning. Bryson Stott is coming up, and he takes the first pitch that he sees. It's called a ball. Thrown by Leisure. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Stott 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled away, back over towards the screen. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I better see the Phillies emotes in the chat now. George! Leisure comes set at the logo. And kicks, fires, and it's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Five seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 2-2 delivery, Stott lays it off. That slider was down. He kind of thought about it and said, nope. I'm going to hold up here. And now the count is full. Leisure gets set at the logo again, and the 3-2 pitch is fouled away. Turner waits in the on-deck circle. Nighttime is upon us here at right field. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. That was a high fastball. And Stott bought into it, and Leisure records his first strikeout of the evening. So Davis Martin, his night is done. We'll get you his final stat line in just a couple of seconds. But Trey Turner is coming up for Philadelphia. 1 out, top of the 7th. The pitch to Trey. It's low for a ball. Martin, 5 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts on 94 pitches. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Turner, and he flies this one out over towards right field, shallow right field, that is. The catch will be made for out number 2 from Austin Slater. And Kyle Schwarber is up next. Jordan Leisure, a 4.78 ERA. Gave up 3 earned runs in his last outing against the Cubs. And Schwarber is up, and he looks at a pitch in the dirt and takes it all the way for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch. Did Schwarber go? The pitch was low. He went around. The count is 1-1. Yeah, and strikeout on a pitch that was high, Larry. Like it wasn't even in the zone. 1-1 pitch. It's up high for ball 2. Wasn't that high that he struck out on. But it was still a high pitch. That was just way up high. Steven Wilson is warming up in the White Sox pen. Two balls, 1 strike, and the 2-1 pitch on the way. It's low in the eyes of the home plate umpire for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike, hitters count to Kyle Schwarber. The 3-1 pitch to Kyle, down for ball 4, and Bryce Harper is coming up to the plate as Schwarber gets on with a 2-out walk. So Schwarber has walked 3 times today. He walked in the 3rd, the 5th, and now the 7th. There's Bryce. He had a 2-run double in the top of the 3rd, also singled as well to right. The Pitch to Bryce. Swing and a miss. A violent swing on a pitch that was up high and inside. And Harper couldn't catch up to it. He swung with all his might and came up with nothing but air. Leisure gets set at the logo, gets the signs from Cuero, and the 0-1 is low and taken for ball one. One ball, one strike to Bryce Harper. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and he takes a slider. It's also outside, not by much. Hit that thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel too. 2-1 is the count to Harper. And the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That slider just went out of the zone. Bryce is hitting .302 in the 7th inning or later this season. He has 6 dingers and 15 RBI in that situation. Toss back over to first, and Schwarber is going to be safe over at first. No tag applied. Didn't even dive, nothing. He just got back to first standing up. Two balls, two strikes. Can Harper get on here? The 2-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out to left. It's hooking foul, and it'll go out of play. They're showing a replay of his 2-run double that he had. Two balls, two strikes to Bryce Harper. And here's the pitch. Up high for a ball. Fake throw over to first from the catcher. And Schwarber gets back to the bag. Big pitch coming up to Bryce Harper. 26 total pitches for Leisure. The payoff pitch on the way to Harper. He flies this one out over towards the third base side and foul ground. Does the third baseman have room? He does, and he'll make the catch. Inning over. Side retired. Bottom of the 7th coming up for the White Sox. Harper fouls out, and that's that. Lennon Sosa will lead things off for the White Sox when they return. And again, the Phillies are down by 2. All right, I'm going to ask you a Phillies trivia question, okay? And if you get it right, you'll hear this. If you get it wrong, you'll hear this. Okay. This one is a little bit more tough. I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's just a little bit tougher. That's all I'm going to say. Which Phillies player wore number 29? Which Phillies player wore number 29? That means he's not on the team now, and that he played for the Phillies. Which Phillies player wore number 29 is my question for you. Ruiz. Kruk. Nope. Not Kruk. Not Chooch. Wilson. Nope. Kruk is incorrect. Glenn Wilson. Ryan Howard. Nope. Pedro Feliz, literally throwing anything out there. Go for it. Your Mike is actually on the right track. Samuel. Pete Rose. Chase Utley. No. Vittorino. McCutchen. Johnston. Carlton. Danny Jackson. Pitch to Sosa, and that's outside for a ball. Lennon Sosa, that is. Me. No. Danny Jackson, incorrect. Worth and Victorino are on the right track. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch is inside for ball 2. Sosa is 2 for 2. Worth, we said Worth. Nope. Pete is also incorrect. Halladay. Pavetta. 2-0 pitch. That's down for ball 3. Looked it up so I can't spoil it. It's okay. Dalton is also incorrect. 3-0. That's outside for ball 4. Burrell, Morandini, and Baboon. Nope. Raul Ibanez. Raul Ibanez is correct. Nice job. Raul Ibanez, war number 29. I believe I still have his jersey somewhere. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. Hopefully better than the Phillies score right now. I'm feeling pretty good. So, yeah, which jersey number, which player wore jersey number 29 on the Phillies, and that is Raul Ibanez. The pitch on the way is swing and a miss. That's to Montgomery. Colson Montgomery hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd. The ball is 2 strikes. Sanchez does have 78 pitches. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel as well. 0-2 is the count. 8 seconds are left on the pitch clock. Raul! Yeah. 0-2. It's low and outside for a ball. Wanted to make it a little bit more tougher. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Cristopher Sanchez. That ball just disappeared out of the zone. Sanchez did a good job locating that changeup. It was Raul Ibanez. Michael Taylor will be the next man up. He has not gotten a hit tonight against Sanchez. Sanchez deals from the stretch, and he throws the pitch, and it swung on and missed. Taylor is 0 for 2. He grounded out and also struck out. The ball is 1 strike, and the 0-1 swing and a miss. Good changeup thrown. Taylor was thinking fastball. Definitely early on that. 0-2 is the count. 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. And there's the 0-2. Line drive down the left field line. That's a fair ball. That's going all the way over towards the corner. And so a run will score for the Whites. Sosa actually goes on over to third. He was held up. And he stays over at third. Ran through the stop signs. And a double for Michael Taylor. I don't know if he would have made it, but Michael Taylor gets on with a double, and regardless, a runner on at third for Chicago. It bounced over towards that corner. Kepler barehand grabbed it and just threw it over to the cutoff man. And now the infield is playing in. And the first pitch to Meidroth is taken for ball 1. This will be his 4th time that he has batted today. Chase Meidroth, right-handed hitter, light batting gloves. 1-0 delivery, down and in. It actually hit the dirt. It took a bounce in front of JT. And the count is 2-0. Max Lazar loosening up in the Phillies bullpen. There's one out in the bottom of the 7th. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. Sanchez gets the signs and fires and throws a changeup at the knees for a strike. Thank you, my friend. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sanchez kicks, fires, and goes back to the changeup again. Swing and a miss. Phillies down 4-2. They're trying to keep it a 2-run deficit. Two balls, 2 strikes, and a huge pitch from Sanchez on the way. Ground ball hit over to third. The throw to home plate is definitely in time. And so Sosa was running home, and Kemp just threw it over to JT, and he was out by a mile. That's going to put runners over at first and third, but now there's 2 outs.
This team isn't good enough to be buyers. The starting pitching is coming back to earth. Topper doesn't initiate anything. Waiting isn't a strategy.
Jack, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. And speaking of Rob, he's going to go out there and make a move, and that's going to be it for Cristopher Sanchez. So his night is done, and Max Lazar is going to go out there to pitch. Curious as to why they're taking them out, because he just got a big out there. Not saying that I would have done that I would have left him in there, but I'm just curious as to why he's doing that. Free all the Sosas. And again, Jack, thank you very, very much for the $5 super chat. Phillies will score in the 8th, says John. Okay, so what are we in the bottom of the 7th? Taylor singled. Mydroth doubled. Right? All right, so let's take a look at the out-of-town scores real quickly. Again, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. Hit that thumbs up button. Mods, let us know how we're doing on the likes. I haven't really heard a lot of updates all game, but let us know how we are doing on that. And the viewers as well. The Rays lead at 4-2 in the top of the 8th against the New York Yankees with 2 runners on and 2 outs. The Red Sox, they lead at 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th out at Target Field against the Twins. The Brewers are up 6-3 against the Chicago Cubs. The Marlins trail 2-0 in the bottom of the 7th against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are up to bat. Max Lazar is going to go out there to pitch for the Phillies. 3.0 ERA, 24 innings, 16 strikeouts, 8 walks allowed, and 3 long balls surrendered this year. This is outing number 21 for Max Lazar. The Nationals and the Astros are tied 1-1. That game is in the bottom of the 6th. The Orioles beat the Blue Jays 11-4. The Dodgers won 5-1, or are winning 5-1. And that is going to the top of the 9th. First pitch thrown from Lazar, swing and a miss. And this is Mike Tauchman, who is coming up for the Chicago White Sox. The Atlanta Braves also lead at 4-2 out in Kansas City. That game's in the bottom of the 6th. Runners at the corners, 2 away, bottom of the 7th. 0-1 delivery off the plate. One ball, 1 strike. Lazar, not wasting any time, comes set at the letters and does not get the call. It was called a ball. thought it was on the inside corner, but not according to the home plate umpire. Two balls, one strike in the 2-1. Ground ball hit over towards the right side, picked up by Stott, and he throws it over to first, and the inning is over. Well, the Phillies do keep it a 2-run deficit. That's the good news. And we're going to the top of the 8th. The bad news is that there's 6 outs left to play with for Philadelphia. Okay. Honestly, if we don't win it all this year, like I said before, it's time for a rebuild, says Doug. And Larry says if we need to rebuild, we're better off signing Ranger than Kyle. Interesting convos in the chat. Jack says, if we're rebuilding, I'd rather have neither. Why is that, Jack? Just out of curiosity. Why would you rather have neither? You would rather? I'm going to let you answer. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I want to hear what your response is. Okay. We are going to the top of the 8th inning. Phillies trail 4-2. Sanchez, his night is done. Didn't really have his best stuff. He did settle down after the 4th inning when he pitched from the 5th inning onward. But he went 6 2/3, allowed 4 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts. It wasn't a terrible outing, but it wasn't his best. And so that's really the main storyline that also contributes to the Phillies offense, which has not really produced a lot of runs. They've only manufactured 2. They've had their chances, 6 hits, 2 runs scored total, and they have left a total of 1 second. They've left a total of 7 guys on base. $65.55 on the subs. Thank you. Okay. We just got word that, oh man. Pronunciation. 1 second. Ryan Sandberg passed away. Just passed away. According to ESPN, it was 15 minutes ago that they just sent out the article. No balls, 1 strike, and that's to Nick Castellanos. We're in the top of the 8th. And the 0-1 is down and out for ball 1. Jack says, if rebuilding, you don't need 7 players making $20 million. Okay. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 to Casty, swing and a miss. Rest in peace. Sandberg, of course, a 10-time All-Star. It was announced that he had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer in January of 2024. He was 65. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's to Nick Castellanos. And the 1-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out over to deep left field. That one's going back towards the track. It'll stay in the yard, though. And the catch is made for out number 1. All right, so 1 away in the top of the 8th. Rest in peace. Yeah. Pitch to JT, and there is a foul ball. Sandberg is a legend. Yep. It's the manager from the Phillies from 2013 to 2015. 0-1, swinging and a miss. That's to JT. No balls, 2 strikes. JT hitless in 3 at-bats. 0-2 on the way, and there's a line drive caught by Sosa at second base for the second out. Jack says Barry Bonds is my favorite all time. Is your favorite all-time player? 2 outs, and Brandon Marsh is up. The pitch is swung on and missed. He was in the league for 16 years. The ball is 1 strike. The 0-1 is fouled away. Obviously was with the Phillies from 81. And then was with the Cubs from 82 to 94. And then from 96 to 97. The ball is 2 strikes. 10-time All-Star. Also won the NL MVP. 9 gold gloves for him. And a 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner as well. The ball is 2 strikes. And the 0-2... that is outside for a ball. One ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Marsh. Seth Johnson warming up in the Phillies bullpen. 1-2 to Marsh, swing and a miss. And the inning is over. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. White Sox lead it 4-2. We're going to take a quick step off. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody. We are going to the bottom of the 8th inning. White Sox do lead at 4-2. In case you didn't know, we just found out that Ryan Sandberg did pass away tonight. It was written in an article on ESPN at 9:26 p.m. Eastern Time that he passed away at the age of 65. and was diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer in January of 2024, and that is what he passed from. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that's to Edgar Cuero. Bottom of the 8th inning. Seth Johnson is on the hill, and the 1-1 is flied out over towards left field. And Kepler's there, and he'll make the catch. And there's out number 1. So obviously prayers go out to his family and to his loved ones. Yeah, prayers. And lots of love, too. Miguel Vargas is going out there to bat for the White Sox. The pitch that's taken is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson winds up and delivers. This one's grounded over to short. Turner picks it up, throws it over to first, and it's not in time. Vargas does beat out the throw. Jack with another $2 super chat. He says that this team is going nowhere until they fire Topper. Alfonso. Aloha. We got 166 likes. 168 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. We're not even at 200, folks. Come on. What are we doing? We've had more votes than likes. Let's go. Pitch from Johnson. That's to Benintendi. That's taken for ball 1. Andrew Benintendi 0 for 3. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Way inside for ball 2. He's been with the White Sox since 2023. This year, 13 home runs, 42 RBI, a .239 batting average, and a .307 on-base percentage as well. Johnson comes set and deals. And it's fouled off over towards the first base side. Two balls, 1 strike. And the 2-1 delivery is upstairs. Still have 299 people on here. Thank you so much. Keep those likes coming. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch is off the plate for ball 4. And that's going to put 2 runners on base with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. After the game is done, we have a post-game show. I do hope that you guys stay on for that. You'll hear all my thoughts. And you can also call into the show, 610-314-0844, or leave a voicemail message. We play those. We also read text messages as well. If you're not comfortable with calling on in, that's fine. We have the lines open for you, 610-314-0844. It's on the screen. It's in the chat as well. If one of the mods wants to post the number, that would be much appreciated. First pitch to Robert, swing and a miss. Luis Robert Jr., 1 for 3 with a 2-run shot. Johnson gets set at the belt again and fires a strike. Robert just held the bat. 0-2. A look back to second. Now bat to third, and bat to the plate, and the 0-2 pitch is fouled off. Can you believe that Andrew Benintendi is now 31 years old? He was a rookie when I was in college. Wow. 0-2 pitch. That's down and away for a ball.
I say if steroids make you hit like Barry Bonds, Not only should they be legal, they should be mandatory.
Thank you again for the $5 super chat, my friend. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and here's the 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. And there is out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th. So 2 gone. BW is here. What's going on, BW? Make sure you go check out BW. He covers the Baltimore Orioles. Does an awesome job. The pitch on the way, and there's a swing and a miss. Sosa is up. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, a walk, and a run scored. How are you, my friend? See that you guys had a big game today. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sosa for the White Sox. One ball, 1 strike. There's the 1-1. Fouled away. The guy that was right behind the plate in that 3rd row didn't really have much of a reaction. He was like, he sort of flinched a little bit, but didn't really flinch that much. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball. He back up the middle for a base hit. This will get 1 run home, and the White Sox add on to their lead 5-2 on an RBI single by Sosa. That's also going to put runners on at the corners. So Vargas does come on in to score. And the lead increases for Chicago. And don't worry, after the game is done, we'll give you all of our thoughts. And we will definitely share everything that went on in this game. And you should stick around for that. Can we trade for that, Sosa? Here comes Colson Montgomery, who takes a whack at the first pitch. And it's nothing but air. Swing and a miss. The ball is 1 strike. And the 0-1 is a check swing foul ball. It was at 97 miles per hour. We'll be talking about Bonds in chat. Montgomery homered earlier in the game, back in the bottom of the 3rd. Johnson gets set above the belt. The 0-2 pitch. Slow. And taken for ball 1. Interesting ball game out in Cincinnati. It's 5-2 Dodgers. But the Reds have the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th with 2 away. Johnson gets set again, and the 1-2 ground ball off the glove of Harper. Can't find the ball, throws it over to first, not in time. Johnson also drops the ball. Stott is the one who goes over to get it, and another run scores. It's 6-2 White Sox. Not a good play from Bryce. It just deflected off of his glove over towards that first base line. He dove over towards his left. It hit the bag first, and then it hit his glove. It took a weird bounce. Actually, it didn't even hit the bag. I apologize. But still, it took a bounce, and then it bounced off his glove, and then it deflected off of his glove onto the first base bag, and it back kicked over past him, and he had to run over to get it and make the throw over to first. Here's Michael Taylor, and he grounds the first pitch that he sees over to short. Turner picks it up, throws it over to second, and finally the inning is over. The Phillies down by 4. We go to the top of the 9th. 6-2 White Sox. Phillies will be back in just a few moments. Again, make sure that you guys do tune on into the Phillies postgame show. If you are looking for a reaction from JJ, if you want to see a reaction from me, if you want to know, JJ, what are your thoughts on this game, you'll hear all about that. And I will make sure that I do that during my postgame show. But it's also not only a time for me to give you my reactions and go over what I saw with my own 2 eyes, but it's also a time for you guys to come on and chat with me as well. You can stay in the YouTube chat. You can call on into the show. I love hearing people talk. We've been definitely getting more callers on in, and that's cool. Or you can also leave a voicemail message as well. So, again, once the game is done, I'll do a little wrap-up, and then I'll go to a break for about 3 minutes. And then we play the trailer, which is a pretty cool trailer. And then we dive on in to the post-game show. It's pretty nice. And again, for the final time, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. And if you love the Phillies, if you love baseball, if you love the Sixers and the Eagles, I encourage you guys to check out more content from this channel. We do Phillies baseball, Sixers basketball, Eagles football. We also do Sunday Night Baseball, and we do MLB Diamond Zone. So if you love baseball, if you're into fantasy baseball, MLB Diamond Zone is a very good cast for you guys. It's sort of like NFL Red Zone, where we just do live whip-arounds throughout Major League Baseball, and we see highlights in real time. And we switch between games, and it's a really cool thing. So I do encourage you to go check that out, too. Grant Taylor is going to pitch the top of the 9th inning, and his first victim will be Otto Kemp. Taylor kicks, deals, and throws it outside. 1 ball, no strikes, and here is the pitch. It's a cutter on the outside corner for strike 1. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue, says BW. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. That's way up high for ball 2. It was at 99 miles per hour. Taylor with 3 pitches. Kemp hitless in 3 at-bats. The 2-1. And there's a fly ball hit out over towards right field. That's going back towards the track. And Tauchman has enough room, and he'll make the catch just in front of the wall. And so, 1 out recorded in the top of the 9th. Oh, boy. Just stayed in the yard. It died out in right field. And a good job by Tauchman to track that thing down and come up with that catch. Max Kepler is the next man up for the Phillies. He did get a hit and is 1 for 3. The pitch is a cutter upstairs for ball 1. Taylor kicks, fires, and throws a cutter in there for strike 1. Grant Taylor's ERA is at a 4.66 earned run average. 25 strikeouts, a 1.24 whip as well. And he kicks, fires, and throws it outside for ball 2. There's Will Venable in his first season as manager of the White Sox. The 2-1 pitch. That's called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. There's out number 2. Kepler strikes out on a 4-seamer at 99. The first four-seamer thrown by Taylor in this inning was a lot of cutters. Then he had the four-seamer in his back pocket. So one more out to go. And Bryson Stott is the next man up. Taylor kicks, deals, and throws a cutter again at 96 at the knees. The ball is one strike. And the pitch, it's a curveball that's in the dirt for ball one. This is not a save opportunity, but the last time that Taylor did get a save was on July 4th. 1-1 pitch, up high for ball two. Two balls, one strike. The pitch to Stott, and he stares at a cutter on the upper third of the zone and takes it for strike two. One more strike to go. Fans on their feet. And the 2-2 pitch fouled off. That was a four-seamer at 100 miles per hour. Again, stay on to hear everything from start to finish, and you can hear my recap and my thoughts. 2-2 pitch, strike three called, and the ball game is over. The Phillies lose game one of this three-game set out in Chicago against the White Sox. The final score is 6-2. The Phillies have lost their last two games, and the ball game is over. They'll be back tomorrow night at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time, looking to try to tie up the series. And so, a 6-2 final score. Cristopher Sanchez did not pitch well today for the Phillies. That was his first bad outing in a while. Lenyn Sosa, 3 for 3 with 3 singles, a walk, a run scored, and an RBI. He is the White Sox player of the game. You could also make a case, though, for Colson Montgomery with the 2-run homer, as well as Luis Robert Jr. with his 2-run shot as well. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation, you and I. Call on into the show, 610-314-0844. I figured that this was going to happen. I'm not surprised. The bottom line is that the Phillies played down to their opponent today. They were hacking at a lot of pitches that were thrown by Davis Martin, and it just seemed like they were behind the A-ball and just did not come to play as a group. That's what it looked like to me. You can assess it with your own two eyes and let me know what you guys have to say. But that's not going to help you, especially when you're trying to go after the NL East division and compete with the New York Mets. So it's not a good look. Phillies are now 2 games behind the Mets. And if the Mets lose, they're 1.5 games behind them. And if the Mets win, they'll be 2.5 above the Philadelphia Phillies. But they did not come out there with their best effort today at all. We'll dissect everything. We'll let you know where things ended up going wrong. But again, 610-314-0844. I'll be back in 3 minutes. All right, I will see you all then. If you're going to sign off, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And I will see you all tomorrow. All right, be right back. Don't go anywhere.
graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I missed putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on, barreled it out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
I got 4 words. 4 words for you. You can't trust the Phillies. That's 5 words. But you know what? You can't trust them. You can't trust them. There's your 4 words right there. You can't trust them. Welcome on into the Phillies postgame show. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell icons too, and that way you will know when we do go live. This team, bottom line, is that they played down to their opponent, and they did not put up a good offensive performance at all. Left a lot of guys on base, gave away at bats, and just looked absolutely lifeless out there on the diamond. And actually, I thought that this was more so of a collaborative effort. Cristopher Sanchez, I will start off with him. Disappointed in Cristopher Sanchez, not mad, because he was pitching so well for you. He gave you a chance out there every single time, and not only did he give you a chance, but he was keeping you involved in games. Today, let's be real, should have given up 4 homers. Now we give up 2 that were 2-run homers, but it should have been 4. One that almost went out was Austin Slater's homer, or was Austin Slater's fly ball. That was back in the first inning, out over towards right center field, and Marsh just caught it in front of the wall. The other one came in the 6th inning from Colson Montgomery. The 4th inning from Colson Montgomery. That would have been his second 2-run homer of the day. The changeup did not look good, did not have a lot of bite to it. It looked very flat, and he looked uncomfortable. Was not really getting into a groove. The velocity was overall down and just off target. And that's really my takeaway from Cristopher Sanchez. He has to be better. I do believe that he will bounce back stronger the next time that he's out there. I think that this was just one of those games where he just did not have his stuff. Okay, and yeah, disappointing, annoying, but I'm more so, and this is how I look at this, I'm more so just annoyed again with the coaching staff, and I look at Bryce Harper, I look at these other players today, and I'm just thinking to myself, how did they only get 2 runs? How did they only get 2 runs today? It's just so puzzling to me, because you look at this lineup, you look at it from top to bottom, and you say to yourself, this team should be able to at least put up 4 or 5 runs against the Chicago White Sox. But Davis Martin, again, looked like the Phillies made him look like he was Sandy Koufax out there. They made him look like he was a very good pitcher. And when they tied it up in the 4th inning, don't want to be a Debbie well, I have to call it like it is. Harper got the 2-run double. Nick Castellanos chased after Junk, and they could have gotten some more runs there. But they got the lead in that 3rd inning, and then they just wet the bed. I did not like the at-bat that Trey Turner had. Bryson Stott got on with a walk in the top of the 5th inning, and he gets on with a leadoff walk. And what do you know? On the first pitch in that at-bat to Trey Turner, he grounds into an around-the-horn double play. That's a rally killer. Schwarber then gets on with a walk. Harper singles out to right field, and Nick Castellanos grounds out towards the mound, and that was the inning where it was really just a rally killer. Now, nice play by Martin, even though he stumbled a little bit. But Casty is just so slow when he's running over to first. I bet you that other guys would have beaten that out. That don't even have the most speed. Yes, Rojas would have beaten that out. Yes, Turner would have beaten that out. But even, I don't know, maybe even Max Kepler beat that out. I don't know. But Nick Castellanos, bottom line, just not able to come through there. And that was brutal. You left guys on base. You put up poor at-bats. I don't really have to say much else. That was the game for you. That's what happened in today's game, and it hurt you. It really does sting, too, especially after you lost to the Yankees the way that you did yesterday. I was sort of okay with the loss, and I just, shrugged it off. But I did say in the postgame show yesterday that they're going to have to come back stronger tomorrow, meaning today, and that they were going to have to go out there and dominate against the White Sox and show their prowess. They did not show their prowess, let alone they shot themselves in the foot. Sanchez's line does not say it all. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Really, it felt like that he gave up 8 earned runs and also 9 hits allowed. Just, again, did not have his good stuff out there. You're at top of the lineup today. Harper actually went 2 for 4 and did have the 2-run double, but eye test told me that he did not have a good game today. The strategy for the White Sox was to pitch around Kyle Schwarber, and they did. They did not let Kyle Schwarber beat them, and instead the offense was just stale. And Turner had a bad day. Casty had a bad day. JT, he had a bad day. Marsh had some nice singles, but if Marsh and Harper are your only 2 guys that are hitting, well then, it's not good. And Harper, when it came into the clutch, thought left a lot of meat on the bones too. So, yeah. 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. That's not good enough. 7 guys left on base. Especially when you're living and dying by the long ball. And for some reason, too, they just did not play small ball when they were getting runners on base. Which also was kind of annoying as well, because this team has been playing more small ball this year. But they didn't do that enough. Wish that I would have saw more small ball play from this Phillies team. That was not the case. You let Davis Martin off the hook. 5 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 2 earned runs. He struck out 7 batters. And if I'm correct, I will double check this. I believe that was the most that he's actually struck out this year. And scratch that, he tied his record. His record for this year was 7, and that was, he also had 7 strikeouts against the Royals. But he's not a strikeout pitcher. Somebody also said in the chat that Cristopher Sanchez, who's usually a ground ball pitcher, I think it was Hardcore, he said that he wasn't getting a lot of ground outs. And the reason why was because the velocity was off. The speed was down. Wasn't getting 96, 97, even on the sinkers. It's coming in at 94, 95. That's a dip in velocity. That's not good. So, and he actually looked like he relied a little bit more on the slider too tonight compared to other nights. When he's just going to that changeup and he will sprinkle in the slider, that's fine. That's good. But it seemed to me that he used the slider more tonight than he's previously been using. I have to go back and see if the stats back that up. But eye test was telling me that was more so of the case. But yeah, you let Davis Martin, who's been average this year, look like he was pitching like a top 10 pitcher in baseball. Not good enough. 610-314-0844 is how you calling into the show. And lastly, I want to have this conversation. Okay, he's been the elephant in the room this whole Bryson Stott thing. Stott really has just not been hitting well, and now he's in the 9 spot. He's on my block. He's on my trade block. And the more I watch him, the more I don't want him here. That's really how I feel. I've defended the guy. I've been patient with the guy. I'm losing my patience with Bryson Stott. Didn't start off the season well. Then was doing fine in the leadoff spot. He's fouling off pitches, and he's not getting on base. And it's just not working. I'm ready to move on. And I'm starting to get there. So I just wanted to throw that out there too, because he has been a weak link in your lineup. Not saying that he's the sole reason why your offense is not doing well, because obviously, yes, you have 8 other hitters that have to step up. That's Bryce Harper, that's Trey Turner, that's Kyle Schwarber. Even though Schwarber has been raking the ball for you, somebody else has to step up. Turner, before the last 2 games, was doing great. Now he's slumping, and you expected that Nick Castellanos or JT or one of those other guys would get hot when you signed them. That's not the case. And Bryce Harper, your leader, your franchise guy, just has not been doing well. But steering the ship back onto Bryson Stott, the guy can't hit lefties. The guy is struggling, and I would not be opposed if the Phillies moved on from him. But I just wanted to leave you with that. 610-314-0844. That is how you call on into the show. Disappointing loss, disappointing effort, and not a good game from the Philadelphia Phillies. Call on in. We're taking phone calls right now. In the meantime, we'll be looking at text messages, and we'll also be looking at chats as well. Jason said, I read an article today that the Phillies are a 90 to 95 win team that have flamed out in the playoffs when the games matter. That's why I would fire Rob Thompson. If I were the Phillies, I would hire a coach. It's too late to fire Rob now. That ship has left. It has sailed. That's a next year conversation. That's an off-season convo. But I understand. I've been frustrated with Rob this year. It's just not happening. The Phillies are not firing Rob at this point. It would not make any sense. Because also, who are you going to bring in at this point of the season? And that's going to throw the players off. And I don't think that would make sense right now. But while I agree he's been awful this year, and I think that he should have been gone even before the season started, he's been terrible, and the team has not looked good around him. The Mets run the bases, and the Phillies are timid, says Jack. The Mets have their weaknesses too, though. I'm not saying that the Mets are even going to win the division, because the Mets clearly do have their weaknesses. Their base running is bad. Their defense at times has looked really awful. And just from watching them, I don't trust them either. I don't really trust anybody in this division right now. It wouldn't surprise me if the Phillies win this thing, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Mets win this thing. BW says, I am not fine. And again, calling into the show, 610-314-0844 is how you dial on in. We're taking phone calls right now. Usually the phone line's buzzing, but it is not buzzing today. I also did not turn on Bluetooth. That's a little bit odd. Let me get the Bluetooth up and running on here. There we go. It's good. That was a voicemail message on Saturday. I did not get that. Shout out to the people that have been here since opening day and have watched mostly every single game. Absolutely. Shout out to you all. You guys are Philly freaks for a reason, and you've been here through and through. And I do thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying with us and for staying here. With that, we're going to take our very first phone call. What is going on? You're on Play-by-Play with JJ. How you feeling after this annoying loss? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Sorry, I had your audio down. That was my bad. I had to phase you up.
That's all good. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but it's not the end of the world.
How did Cristopher Sanchez look to you tonight? If you were able to watch the game, what did you see from Cristopher Sanchez, and are you concerned moving forward about Sanchez?
Well, sadly, I did get to watch the whole game tonight, every pitch. So I'm not concerned. I mean, Wheeler had a start in Yankee Stadium the other day where he just had an inning where he wasn't as sharp. Sanchez just didn't look sharp the whole game today.
No.
But, I mean, he still went 7. He didn't get through the 7th, I don't think. But he still went 7 innings. And, I mean, 4 runs. We're so spoiled. 4 runs, this offense should be able to win. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that you make a good point there. I mean, like, at this point, he's been so good. He's been keeping you involved in so many different games, and that changeup at some point is going to be flat. And, again, I said this before. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it felt like to me that he was going to the slider a little bit more tonight because he didn't trust his changeup. Which,
that's true, yeah.
You know, I thought that was sort of a sign saying, you know, it's just not going to be his night. The last question that I have for you is, when you look at this offense, who has been the most disappointing for you this season?
I think the most disappointing hitter on the Phillies is Bryson Stott. And I think that's from what you were talking about. I feel like we saw him his rookie year. He sort of showed a lot of potential. And defensively, he's been the same throughout his whole career with the Phillies. Has been fantastic. Sure. But you keep waiting for him to make that leap. And I thought the first couple months of the season when we had him leading off, he was batting 300. I thought that's what Bryson Stott can be. I still think that's what he can be. I still believe in the guy. And I like him in the 9 spot. It's like you got a second leadoff hitter, but he has not been producing and he has not been getting on base as much anymore.
Why do you think that is?
It's frustrating. Well, I don't know. I think it's something with a lot of our hitters. We saw it tonight. They're late on the fastball and they chase the off speed. So It's like they just look lost. They have a lot of these games, and I think Stott's a big proponent of that. I saw one game the other night. He had his hands a little lower. He's been keeping his hands a little lower. But I don't know. I mean, if you're changing the way you're swinging, I mean, your swing got you in the big leagues. I don't know.
I'm happy that you brought up the hands being a little bit lower because that was something that I didn't want to say because I wasn't really like looking into that, from like a Kevin Long perspective. But it now that you brought it to my attention, it has looked like he's done that a little bit. I don't know if that's just to try to get better timing or what it is, but I thought that was actually an interesting thing that you brought up there because I've seen that too, but I didn't really want to put that in the spotlight because I wanted to see if somebody else saw that too, and I appreciate you for bringing that up.
The last thing I want to say, JJ, and I'll let you go, is a gripe with Rob Thompson. I don't think I've ever seen a high leverage reliever when we're losing a game. We could be down 1 run in the 8th inning, and you're going to see Seth Johnson or Max freaking Lazar. It's so frustrating to me, and I didn't think we were going to come back and win because we just looked so heartless tonight. But in the 8th inning, when you put Seth Johnson out there, it's like you just know he doesn't care about the game. I don't think our manager he looks at some games, and you kind of have to. I mean, as fans, we get a little irrational sometimes. You want to win every game, and you can't win every game. Right. But I don't think he's putting us in the best position to win every baseball game. So, but I've been out on him since we blew Game 6 and 7 in the NLCS. We should have fired him then.
I agree. I got to keep the line moving, but my man, thank you so much for calling on in.
You got to have a good night.
You too. You too. What is going on, my friend? You were on play-by-play with JJ. How you feeling after this game?
Oh, I'm feeling the way I usually feel, a little disappointed. But I think as far as Stott goes, I think as long as he has that much of an uppercut in his swing, all they're going to do is throw the balls at the letters, and he's going to pop them up foul like he does 100 times a game. I think the Phillies missed the boat with this guy. He's just not the answer.
Do you think that it's a Kevin Long problem, or do you think that it's a Stott problem, or is it a combination of both? Because like I go back and forth with it, you know?
I think the problem is that fans have this idea that hitting coaches are that involved. The younger players maybe will listen. The older players are more like, if the guy doesn't come to Kevin, he leaves them alone, because these guys are stuck in their own ways and want to do everything. That's the same way with Castellanos of swinging those outside pitches. Nobody says much to him because they know Castellanos has an attitude to start with. So hitting coaches are not that big a deal. I mean, they can give pointers, but it's up to the hitters. Baseball is the one sport to where you're out there all by yourself. The best teammates in the world can't help you in that batter's box. It's just you. And a lot of guys just want to stick with what they think they know.
That's an interesting
point. I wouldn't
point.
blame the hitting coach. Now, the pitching coach, I think pitchers do listen to pitching coaches more. But hitting coaches, I don't think they have a whole lot of input.
So do you think that when you look at the pitching staff and you look at the bullpen and you see guys like, I don't know, like Daniel Robert, and you look at Max Lazar, and you see them coming on into situations and you're watching just the pitching coach from the dugout when they're getting on into trouble and you see them not trying to go out there to talk to them, is that a flaw to you when it comes to Caleb Cotham?
Well, I think the fact that you only get so many mound visits limits what pitching coaches might generally do. But
true.
I think sometimes a pitching coach may have the idea that if you go out there with a young pitcher, just the fact that you went out there, now that has him a little on edge, feeling I must be messing up. So sometimes you don't want to mess with the guy's head and you just kind of let him go, because who knows how much of a difference what you say is going to do. A lot of times when they go out there, the only reason they go out there is to give the guy a bit of a breather and just try to calm him down rather than any real strategy or whatever.
Good point. Good point. I'm happy that you brought this stuff up because I'm always curious to see how people feel, and I like when people bring new ideas and new thoughts that I haven't really thought about in my head, and that's very valid. So I appreciate that.
One of my biggest problems I have with the Phillies is that we have guys who are very good at stealing bases, but those are the guys that are the most timid on the base path. There's no way that Turner shouldn't steal 65 bases a year, but he gets on there and he acts like, he's literally scared. Now, he'll probably say he just tries to leave the hole open for Harper or Schwarber. We don't want those guys hitting the ball through the hole. We want those guys banging fences. But they do hit singles occasionally and be better if you're on second base.
Sure. Yeah. I agree with that, too. I think that they have to be running Turner more and that they don't do that enough. And
how many times have you seen a hit and run with the Phillies? They don't bun guys over much. You don't see guys some of these left-hand hitters. You got the third baseman over in the shortstop hole, and the left-handed guy leading off the inning when you could use the base runner. They bun it down the third base line. No, because hey, I don't want to take a chance on missing out on this great home run I'm gonna hit, which they don't.
Hey, I'm watching the Mets play last night against the Giants, and I know that the Mets have flaws too, but the one thing that they actually did a good job with against the Giants was they provided pressure on the pitcher that they were going up against. And they also, I thought, when they got bases loaded, they were doing more hit and run plays. And there was a lot more strategy. And I feel like that one of the reasons why the Mets had a good series against the Giants was because they played a lot of small ball. And the Phillies don't consistently do that from that perspective.
Well, that's true. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Topper comes mostly from the American League, where it's the 3-run homer league. Now, he's been in the National League since it came over with Joe Girardi, but I think he's kind of become a guy that just watches the game. He doesn't really manage the game.
Yeah, he's more like a spectator. I've seen that,
and
too.
then when you get him on the post game, he defends all his players and makes it look like the ship is sinking, but somebody had to have a movie to make, so we just go on down with it.
It's so true. I'm laughing because that's how I view it as well. My friend, thank you so much for coming on here. Feel free to call back anytime. Really, that was a great phone call.
All right, Blackjack signing off.
Yep. All right, Jack. Thank you so much. Bye. Shout out to Jack, man. Shout out to Jack. That was awesome. It was a good phone call. I really enjoyed that. What else do we have? Oh, 5 words. Yeah, I screwed that up. They lost last 17 out of 29, says Muhammad. Crazy. Sanchez was due for a bad start. He will bounce back, says Paul. I agree with that. The guy the Dodgers interviewed prior to hiring Dave Roberts, Chase Utley, or Anthony Contreras, the coach with the best record in the International League as a manager for the Iron Pigs. I forgot to mute that. What's going on? You're on play-by-play with JJ. How you feeling after this game?
Hey, this is John from Richmond, Virginia.
John, talk to me, man. I need to hear your thoughts. I need you to bring me...
I honestly thought this game was over when it was 4-2.
Yep.
The Phillies looked flat. Stott, probably it's time for him to go. Another thing, Castellanos has got to be the slowest base runner around. There's 2 weaknesses there.
Yep.
Obviously, we're not going to get rid of the coach until next year.
Brutal. It's brutal.
It's just frustrating.
It is. It absolutely is. And I know that Bryce Harper statistically, the stats say that he went 2 for 4, but he's been a problem. He's been a problem too.
This was just a flat loss. As I said, I thought the game was over when it was 4-2.
Yep.
I didn't see them coming back in this game.
It's tough. It's really tough. What do you expect out of tomorrow's game? Like, do you think that they're going to come out there and that they're going to be firing? Yeah, go for it.
Listen, they've got to come back. They can't play another game like this or they'll lose it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel like that they're going to have to tie the series tomorrow. Hopefully the bats will be ready to go, but I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I really don't trust them. They've been so inconsistent this year. So
I like small ball. I like bunting when you got to bunt to advance the runner. That never happens.
Yep.
I don't know. It's frustrating. Look, every team goes through this, and I guess we're going through it now.
Yeah.
And,
I know. It's brutal, and
yes.
Now we have to rely on the Mets to lose, and it's just like, why can't we just take care of our own business and have to now rely on outside teams? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that, John.
No, I don't either. I'm not worrying about the Mets losing or winning. It's that we've got to constantly win, and obviously the last 2 games were very frustrating.
I agree. John,
Yeah.
I love you, man. Thank you so much
guy.
for calling on in.
Hey, take care.
You as well. Take it easy. Great phone calls. Really awesome stuff. Jack's right. Jack is definitely right. When I'm looking at this team and I'm watching just the hit and runs, and I'm not watching like the lack of strategy, really, not hitting and running, and just trying to catch the opponent off guard. That's a concern. That's just strategy. And Rob, who's been in the American League for a very long time under Joe Girardi, he brought up a good point there. Maybe that was something that was just a weakness, of him coming from the American League. And he just acts like everything is fine. It's not fine. And he backs up his players, and I know that's what a player manager does, but you got to call him out when things aren't going well, you're the one that leads the team. You got to rally the troops. So, we're still taking phone calls, 610-314-0844. I often dream about the Phillies doing well. Then I wake up and hear Harper cussed out the commissioner. It's brutal, man. It's brutal. JJ, my bad, bro. Maybe next game. It's all good, Chris. You're good, man. You're totally good. I want you to be rooting for those Mets, man. Like I want you to root for like your team, my guy. You know? Like I appreciate you for stopping on by. Thank you so much for tuning on in too, dude. But yeah, that's how the Mets used to be. Yeah. No, this is baseball, dude. You know, like this is just a part of how baseball goes. Your team goes through slumps. It's peaks and valleys. The highs are so high, the lows are so low. I mean, you know it as even a Mets fan. My gosh, the first half of last year for you guys, that was not fun. And then all of a sudden you play us in the London series, and then here you come. And then, like when you guys lose to the Dodgers, it's like the worst feeling in the entire world. That's just how sports is. That's the cycle of sports. So, but yeah, we have a bad habit of making mediocre pitchers look good. Doug, I can name you a bunch of pitchers this year that we've done that against. Mitchell Parker being one of them. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And another one tonight in Davis Martin. JJ, would you hire Utley for the manager of the Phillies if the job opens? The Dodgers wanted to hire him when they hired Dave Roberts. I wish Bryce Harper would not have cussed out Rob Manfred. Yeah, I really didn't know about that. I really did not know about it. And I'll have to look on into it. I did not see that today. But, would I have hired Chase Utley? I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I really don't know. I can't say. But clearly, what I can say is that Rob is not getting the job done. That's as clear as day. The Phillies don't have many professional hitters. They just have swingers. You know, it's funny, Jack. We talked about how Orion was not even a pitcher, but he was a thrower. Excuse me. Seems like that's the case with our quote-unquote hitting. You're right. You're so right. Close your eyes and swing hard. Stock gets shopped this offseason. 2 years left of team control. Eagle Auto, my friend. I'm done with Stotts, he says. And Kepler, nothing's changed. They are killing our team. They're not a part of the solution. That's for sure. JT's hurting you. Casty's hurting you when he's not on. And Bryce is hurting you too. Halftime. How are you, my friend? This was an embarrassment. This should have been an easy win, for sure. 1,000% halftime. They should have taken this game, and now they got to respond tomorrow. I don't trust them. That's my takeaway from today. I don't. We have another phone call coming on in. What is going on? You were on Play-by-Play with JJ. What's going on?
What's up, man? It's Presley again. How are you?
I'm doing good, Presley. I'm disappointed in this team, but how you feeling?
Well, I was watching my dad game with my dad, and same thing, just not enough run support. Here's my main issue, and I'll keep the call pretty brief.
Go for it.
You can acquire the best pitchers in the league. You could have all the top starting pitchers, all the top relief pitchers. The fellas ain't hitting. Who cares if we have the top 3 relief pitchers. I mean, that's what I'm really talking about. There's not enough run support, even with him giving up 4 runs, which these 2 unfortunate home runs, the ones that barely veered off. They had plenty of opportunities to get hits. You got Castellanos swinging at balls, down in California when they're in Chicago, and
yeah,
that's it's kind of the same thing we're used to seeing for the last couple of years. Unfortunately, they have to come to a point right now. I think is it more important to win right now, or do they want to keep their prospects and try to win in 7-8 years from now? So, whether we go out and trade for relief pitchers or, we need some bats. Like I was saying the other day, Stephen Palm would have been a perfect example for today. Maybe he could have been a little productive to help boost the lineup a bit.
No, it's a very valid question, and we talked about it a little bit in chat today. And, chat was bringing it up and talking about, well, if you sign Schwarber or if you sign Ranger, like, are we still if we're rebuilding, like, do you sign either or? Like, we're thinking in the back of our head, like, what really does this team do? Do they go all in now, which is what I think that they're thinking about doing. They think that they have a team that can compete and make a deep playoff run. Now, whether or not they feel like that they can just stay complacent or go out there and get another bat, I tend to lean more towards that they feel like that they're good right where they are and that they can just get maybe a couple of pieces in the bullpen to help them. But that's flawed, in my opinion. And it's also flawed, too, if you just think that that one particular bat is going to help them, like, win the whole entire thing. So it's hard. And then it's like, then you have to make the decision of what's going to happen to JT. Do you re-sign him? Because I don't really trust anybody at catcher right now. I don't trust Rafael Marchand. You have to wait a couple more years for Eduardo Tait, and you don't even know if he's going to pan out. And then you look at Kyle Schwarber. He's not getting any younger, and you don't know what type of money he's going to want. And then with Ranger Suarez, he's going to want a lot of money too. So it's like, any way you look at this is really a tough spot to be in.
Mm-hmm. And you got to look at it another way as well. Last year bringing Austin Hayes, who was in a decline of his career. He's not an all-star. He hasn't been an all-star. Right. I think he was an all-star once. You got to bring in an all-star left fielder. I don't think, and I'll see that, Luis Robert, his name is going around. I personally don't believe he's going to make an impact anywhere he goes. If he could hit the ball, he'd be hitting right now in Chicago. The way their whole lineup is shouldn't depict the way he plays. And obviously, when a player goes to new teams, sometimes they perform in a much better way, sometimes in a much worse way. But honestly, this is the time to win now. They got obviously these multi-million-dollar contracts in Harper and Turner that are going to be going for another at least 7-8 years.
Yep.
And then, all their other main pieces are going to be gone in, a year or two. So this year or next year. And, with all the pitchers, it's basically once Wheeler's done, Sanchez is going to expire about that year or the year after. So this is their window to win now. They shouldn't have to worry about the farm system. And if they're worried about the farm system, then they don't, want to win.
That's right.
So,
yep. I think that's a very valid point. And the question becomes, is John Middleton going to want to spend the money? And, he has a lot to think about, too. He really does.
Yeah, man. But, again, one game. There's 162 games in the season. If they go and win the next 2 games, nobody's going to remember tonight's game. And that's the way you have to look at it. Hopefully this is another reason why they should want to go out and get another hitter because, I got nothing against Max Kepler. I think he's a great guy. But he's just not going to be the answer that we're going to need in the postseason.
He's not getting it done, clearly. So,
yeah, JJ.
Presley, you're the man. I appreciate you for calling in as always. You always provide very good takes, and always look forward to talking to you, my friend.
Yeah, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go Phils.
See you
Phils. Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, man. Always a great phone call, too, talking to him. And he's right. Anyway you slice it, it's hard. I'd like them to get another bat. I disagree, though, about Luis Robert. Maybe he does do better. in a new uniform in the pinstripes, because I see like where he's coming from, and I brought this question up earlier tonight about, okay, if he gets a change of scenery, does he do better? We saw with Jazz last year, he had a change of scenery. He went over to New York, and he was a big difference maker, right? We see sometimes even Brandon Marsh, people are not going to want to admit this, but even when the Phillies had Brandon Marsh, I'm not telling you that he was miles and miles better, but Marsh, when he was on the Angels, he was really struggling that year. And when he came to the Phillies, he started playing a little bit better. The swing looked more level, and it looked like that he was engaged out there because he was on a team that got hot at the right time and, that championship aspirations, and that seemed to help him. My thing, though, about Robert is that if you want out, and this is just how I look at things, if you're not happy with the organization and how they are treating you, okay, I want to increase my stock. I want to be doing better. Now, maybe, and I can't rule this out either, but maybe he's just in a slump. Maybe he's in his head. Maybe the coaching staff is telling him one thing, and maybe they just don't have good coaches around him. We don't know. We don't know that either. Like, those are outside factors. Now, do I trust the Phillies coaching staff over the White Sox coaching staff? Well, the White Sox are where they are for a reason. And we complain about the Phillies coaching staff a lot, but maybe he does do better here. Then again, maybe not. It's crazy. Oh, boy. Stop fouls off every pitch. I think stock goes somewhere closer to home, like Arizona or the A's, and becomes a much better player out of the pressure cooker in Philly. Maybe he shines when he's with a team that he doesn't have to have the spotlight on him. I really don't know. I can't say that I know the answer to these things. I'm just trying to lay out the options, and I'm trying to figure out what's out there, what's on the table, and clearly Bryson Stott is hurting you. It's not the sole reason why you are where you are with your offense, but he's not helping. He's definitely not helping you. The uppercut swings are atrocious. They're disgusting to watch. The situational hitting sometimes from him is also bad. I'll watch him sometimes when he tries to bunt after the first pitch. He'll take it back like what Bryce Harper did the other day. Or actually, sorry, the opposite of what Bryce Harper did. And he thought that it was a ball, but clearly just missed it. Like, that's on you. That's not on the coaching staff. You didn't bunt the ball. You missed it. It was nothing but air. I don't know. Jack says it's not too late. Philly halftime. And the Phillies will not make any moves to make this team better because they don't want to go over the luxury tax. And I think that they're not going to want to do that either, my friend. I hate to say it, but that is the truth. Surprise me. I'll take a couple more texts as well, messages. We don't have many high leverage relievers. Can't pitch Kerkering and Strom every night, says Paul. We don't, and that, to me, is also a Dombrowski thing, too. But even though Dombrowski needs to make decisions with the bullpen, you also have to wonder as well, Sanchez, he was down in the count 2-0, but then he battled back in that seventh inning, and he got that second out, and he only had 88 pitches. Why not let him pitch and get the final out there? So what Jack is saying to me, and we didn't bring this up, but Your manager still has to put you in a position to succeed when it comes to going to the bullpen and figuring out what moves you make. At that point, I wouldn't have went to Max Lazar. Would have tried to go to some other options too. That to me is a spot. I wouldn't say Jordan Romano, but it's just, I don't know. Daniel Robert, maybe? It's not a clear answer, but it's just annoying. Tanner Banks there, probably. I don't know. Can't really fully trust him either. Now it sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because now it's like, well, Rob doesn't really have a lot of options, but I think even if he left Sanchez out there, I think that was his best choice. I do. Sanchez is your better pitcher, and he got out of that spot, and he still had gas left in the tank. Paul says that they need a true number 2 hitter. If Turner steals second, teams will pitch around Schwarber, and first base will be open. And then you need your superstar to come through as well. What made the Phillies so dangerous in 2022 was that they scratched, they clawed, and I will never forget the one game that they had against Sandy Alcantara. And I was at that game. They only put up, I think it was 2 runs in 6 innings, and Sandy was pitching well, but the Phillies were very strategic with how they played against him. They made him work. And when they got on base, they put pressure on him where he was always looking at first. And even when runners would steal, like Gene Segura and Bryson Stott and Yohan Rojas, they provided pressure on him. And then they just had that one inning like where they would just explode in that bottom of the 8th inning, and they got some insurance. But that game, I thought, really defined the second half of that season for even like when they went into the playoffs, where they just had a mentality where, okay, you're pitching your best pitcher out there, we're going to find a way to take them out. We're going to foul off pitches, work up that pitch count, and we're going to get to your bullpen. And we're not really seeing that. Dilated Entertainment, what's going on, man? How are the division standings for the Phillies? Well, now we're 2 games behind the Mets, and the Mets are currently on right now. I don't have the score in front of me. It's 1-1. I just pulled it up now. But yeah. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up tonight for me. I love you all to death. Thank you all very, very much. Butterfly is also here. I appreciate you for stopping by as well. I will catch you all on the next one. And, yeah, tomorrow night it'll be Phillies White Sox again. And the game time for that will also be at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And it'll be Jesus Luzardo going up against Jonathan Cannon. We'll see if they can bounce back. Not holding my breath, but we'll see. I love you all. Lila Tov, good night, and have yourselves a great rest of your night. Sweet dreams.